Hello dear students, we are going to study the role of light in a photosynthesis today. As we have studied, light plays a significant role and it is actually converted from solar form to chemical form in a process of photosynthesis. So we are going to talk about solar energy. Energy that comes from sun is electromagnetic radiations, and these radiations are of different types and of different wavelengths. And of this radiation, visible spectrum, which is important for process of photosynthesis, visible spectrum just part of it. Visible spectrum is just part of it. See, gamma radiations, X-rays radiations, ultraviolet radiations, infrared radiations, and here for a process of photosynthesis, we'll just be studying visible spectrum, visible light, visible radiations, because this is a spectrum which is important for process of photosynthesis. And that visible spectrum is in a specific wavelength that measures from 380 nanometers generally to 750 nanometers, and the energy or the light of this wavelength is not only visible to our eyes, but it is important for process of photosynthesis as it can be absorbed by different kinds of pigments. Actually, the pigments that are present in the body in a chloroplast and an thylakoid membrane, every pigment has a specific absorption spectrum, and every pigment absorbs light of different spectrum or different wavelengths. And as per their absorption, we have categorized different pigments absorb light of different wavelengths, and to which we term it is termed as an absorption spectrum. Absorption spectrum for carotenoid is different. Absorption spectrum for chlorophyll is different. A, and absorption spectrum for chlorophyll B is different. And to that we consider the every kind of pigment is absorbing a specific spectrum of light. We consider it as an absorption spectrum. Another spectrum. This spectrum at which photosynthetic rate is high is termed as an action spectrum. Every pigment is absorbing light of a specific spectrum, but of that spectrum where the rate of photosynthesis is maximum. Say for example, we say chlorophyll shows maximum photosynthetic activity at red or blue light. So we can say blue or red spectrums are more effective spectrums, and to these spectrums where the photosynthetic activities maximum, to that we can consider it is termed as an action spectrum. A spectrum where pigment shows maximum activity is termed as an action spectrum. And for photosynthesis, the light for blue and red wavelength shows an action spectrum, because it's red and blue wavelength, and in that light the process of photosynthesis is a maximum, or the rate of photosynthesis is maximum. Is chlorophyll A or chlorophyll B show more absorption in a violet blue, or which actually has a wavelength of 400 to 470 nanometers, and orange red, which is a wavelength of 630 to 660 nanometers, and the light of these two colors is more effectively absorbed by chlorophyll A, and therefore in these two lights the rate of photosynthesis is maximum. And as we have studied carotenoids, they actually show a wider range of absorption of light. Their absorption spectrum varies, and they can absorb a wide range of wavelengths in a visible light, so they can absorb light of different wavelengths. This is just a structure of it. Just this is a visible light, and that visible light, especially in terms of blue and red colors, is absorbed by chlorophyll A, which actually plays a significant role in photosynthesis that we'll have to study. Actually, in a chloroplast and a thylakoid membrane, there are kind of systems called photosystem 1 and 2, and these systems actually have chlorophyll A, which makes a reaction center, and these molecules of chlorophyll B and carotenoids, as they are absorbing light of different wavelengths, and these antino complexes absorb light and they give to chlorophyll molecule, and that excites and that initiates the process of photosynthesis so far, the excitement of chlorophyll. Light is necessary. And that light is especially visible spectrum of light, which in terms specifically red and blue are more effective colors of light that can excite the chlorophyll molecule and they can help in a process of photosynthesis. Therefore, light is an important requirement for the process of photosynthesis. Okay.